there, I'm Di and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you my 5 favorite go-to healthy recipe ideas that are super quick and easy to make. Now if you're new here, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe below. Now let's get started. So my whole philosophy is around super simple, healthy eating. I don't like to count calories or macros, but I do like to have a good understanding of what's going into my body. So I generally stick to some really good, healthy recipes that help keep me on track. And these are just some of them that I'm going to share with you today. So for those of you who do like to know that kind of information, I have included some information on calories and macros within each of the recipe ideas that I'm going to share with you today. Alright, so first up is my banana berry smoothie. I love to have this first thing in the morning. Here's all the ingredients and I'm going to walk you through each one as I build it into the smoothie. First up is a banana. You're just going to peel this, of course, and then I'm just going to break it up into small chunky pieces. It's a great way of creating a nice mushy base for my smoothie. I'm then going to add a handful of frozen blueberries and about 6 frozen strawberries. Frozen fruits are amazing as all the nutrients are snapped in and it makes for a nice refreshing cool smoothie. Next up is the liquid of your choice. I'm using unsweetened almond milk. You can use water or any other milk of your choosing. I then blitz all these ingredients together as I find it creates a nice base to work with. So next up I'm going to add in my acai powder. I use the one from Happy Way. I'm just going to grab a teaspoon or just a little bit less than a teaspoon of acai powder, which is great for antioxidants. I'm then going to pop in some chia seeds. I'm using multicolored white and black chia seeds, great for fiber. And then I'm going to pop in some alkalizing greens. They don't normally taste that great, but these ones are amazing from the brand More Life. I'm using lemon lime today. They also have a pineapple coconut and acai berry flavor, packed full of goodness with 19 super greens. Final ingredient is my protein powder. I'm using Happy Way today. The vanilla vegan is one of my favorites, but you can use any protein powder and flavor of your choice. I'm just going to pop a scoop in there, and then just before I finish up, I'm going to scrape down any of the powders before doing a final blitz of my smoothie. And then we are pretty much ready to go. I am just popping this into a glass and it is so yummy. It's a great way to start my morning every day. For my next recipe, I'm going to share with you my open healthy hamburger salad. Now for this recipe you'll need pork rissoles, rocket or irregular, about 100 grams each of cherry tomatoes and cucumber, olive oil and some rock salt. So first up we're going to chop up some cherry tomatoes. You can just halve or quarter them, whatever style you like, and just put them all together and pop them on side for now. Next you'll peel up the cucumber, leaving a bit of skin on the outside. Now if your cucumber has lots of seeds, you may prefer to chop these out. And as you can see, my peeling and chopping skills are not the best in the world, but I do my best. Now you can also add mushroom, red onion, peppers, any veggie of your choice really, but I've just kept it super simple today. Now the goal of this recipe is just to create a high density, low calorie option which keeps you fuller for longer. Now combine the tomatoes and cucumbers together with a healthy pinch of salt, adding about a teaspoon of olive oil and marinade well together. Just stir it around in the bowl there. All right, so moving over to the stove, you're going to add salt and pepper to taste on those rissoles. Don't be frightened to add a healthy amount of salt. Pop your pan onto a pretty high heat and you can use the pan lid from time to time to steam, remembering to keep the heat high so condensation doesn't form and boil. Cook the rissoles to your liking. I like mine fairly well done, and don't forget while you're cooking to turn them over every now and then as well. So for today's lunch I'm just using 1 rissole and I'm going to dice it up for even distribution into the salad. Add in your rocket first and then the tomatoes and cucumber to complete the salad, and top it up with a sauce of your choice if you like. I love barbecue sauce, so I'm just going to put a nice big squeeze of that in here. and mix it around. And if you really love hamburgers, this is a great low-calorie option. Add a sprinkle of shredded cheese if you like. Go a little bit easy on the cheese and enjoy. Now that's my open, healthy hamburger salad. Next up, I'm going to share with you my veggie frittata. Now to make this fantastic, tasty frittata, you will need 1 large saucepan with a high lip, 8 to 10 eggs, 3/4 of a large zucchini, about 100 grams, 3 to 4 small mushrooms, 1 medium-sized capsicum or pepper, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic depending on your taste, and to season I'm using some salt and pepper and Italian herbs. Now for today's recipe, I've used 5 egg yolks and 5 whole eggs. I've used egg yolks as I've had them on hand in the fridge, and personally I find when utilising this combo, the frittata is so much richer in flavour, but it does add extra calories to the dish as the egg yolk is higher in fat. If you prefer not to separate your eggs, you will need about 8 to 10 whole eggs. After beating the eggs, I've also added 50 grams of shredded cheese. Make sure you preheat your oven to 180 degrees and let's move over to the stovetop. On a reasonably high heat, you're going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I traditionally measure my oil as it's so easy to get it wrong. Add a generous amount of salt to your oil and then add in your capsicums. Now don't think you just need to stick to the veggies that I'm using. You can use up any veggies that may be getting a bit older and about to lose their freshness from the fridge. Now getting back to those capsicums, you want to aim to bring out a little bit of colour during the cooking process, and once they start to soften you can then add in your zucchini. Again, salt each ingredient as you go. Once your capsicum and zucchini have softened, about 3 to 4 minutes, then you are ready to add in your garlic. Create a small space in the center of your pan, add your garlic and a touch of oil to help release the flavor. Don't forget to also salt the garlic. Once your garlic is slightly cooked, you can then give it a good mix with the rest of your veggies and continue to soften and add color. Now add in your mushrooms, and if your pan is a little bit dry, add a bit of oil. I'm now going to add in those Italian seasonings, and you're going to cook for a further 2 to 5 minutes until all those veggies are cooked. Just remember, you're going to pop this into the oven shortly, so the veggies will continue to cook further in there as well. At this time, turn off the gas and add 1 more tablespoon of oil around the edge of the pan. Now you're going to even out your vegetables by giving the pan a good shake, and now slowly add in that beaten egg mixture. Just be careful not to get on the sides of the pan. Now you're going to place the pan in the oven and cook for about 12 to 14 minutes on 185 degrees until the top is firm and cooked. And if you like, halfway through the cooking process, you can spread another 25 grams of shredded cheese on top. Once the frittata is cooked, you'll need to place it on top of your stovetop to cool. Run a spatula around the edge to help break away the edge from the pan, and as it cools, the frittata will constrict. When turning the frittata out, the trick is to utilize a piece of paper towels to support the frittata with your hand and flip over, then place onto a plate and flip back. Cut it into approximately 8 slices, and you can plate this up with a side salad for lunch or dinner, or just enjoy separately as a snack. And that's my healthy veggie frittata. Next recipe is my no preservative Bliss balls, which is perfect for both snacks or post-workout treats. So you're going to start with ingredients being 50 grams of pitted medjool dates, 2 tablespoons of smooth peanut or nut butter, and you can reduce the calories by using a peanut powder like PB2, 30 grams of natural macadamia nuts, 1/3 of a cup of almond flour, 1 scoop of protein powder, and 15 ml of maple syrup for sweetness, and a small amount of boiling water, which you'll need to soften the dates. Now I like to use a good quality protein powder. I like the brands BPN, which I like the milk and cookies. And then the other one I like is Happy Whey, which is Australian made, plus they have a variety of flavors in both vegan and whey options. Alright, so the next thing you're going to do is add the boiling water to the dates to let them soften up. And then you're going to open up your food processor and start adding some of those dry ingredients. So you're going to pop in the protein powder, pop in your almond flour as well, and also add your macadamia nuts. So close up your food processor, start blending for about 10 to 20 seconds. Just be careful not to overblend, as you'll want to keep some of the texture from those macadamia nuts. So now, as you can see, I'm using a scale and I'm just going to weigh out the maple syrup, as you just don't want to overdo the maple syrup flavor here because it's very rich. So in goes your peanut butter, and I just like to evenly distribute it as best as I can around the food processor. Try not to get onto the sides like I did. And then you are going to mash up those dates and make it into a nice thick paste consistency. Now once you've done that, you're just going to evenly distribute it like you did with the peanut butter. Try not to get any on the sides as you pop it in there. And then you are going to pop on the lid again and get blitzing. Now you're just going to keep blitzing until you get this nice round ball. Just remove the blade there, and then you can just take the big ball and roll it around and pick up all the other little leftover pieces. Now it helps if you wet your hands a little, as this will stop the mixture from sticking. Start rolling your balls. I'm using a scale to measure out around 25 grams per ball, and you should get around 12 balls with this recipe. Now why I love this recipe is that it is quick and easy, taking around just 5 to 10 minutes to make. It's super economical to make it just 20 to 30 cents per ball, and that's a massive saving when you compare it to a store-bought protein ball, which can be anywhere from around $2 to $4. And now, while I didn't do this today, you may like to add a finishing touch to these by rolling them in either desiccated coconut or in some extra blitzed up macadamia nuts. And there you have it, they're my protein Bliss balls ready to go. And last up, I'm going to share with you my peri chicken and roast veg. For this recipe, you're going to start with 700 grams of chicken breast. Now before you get started, I suggest removing any rings, as things are about to get a bit messy. You are going to dice the chicken into small chunks and then pop it into a large bowl. Today we are utilising peri as our marinade, and I'm using about 100 mils. The marinade does go a really long way. You're going to massage it into the diced chicken really well, and then you're going to cover and set aside in the fridge for 20 minutes, or preferably overnight if you have time. Moving on to preparing the veggies for roasting. You're going to start with 1 red onion, cut into chunks, and just be careful not to cut them too small, otherwise they're going to burn in your baking dish. You're going to cut up 1 capsicum. You can cut any way you like, and today I'm cutting into squares. Once you're done, just pop those into the baking dish as well. Dice up 1 sweet potato. Don't be afraid to use sweet potato, as it's a really good carb to have in your diet, and it also tastes amazing when it is roasted. Place that one into the baking dish as well. Then next you're going to dice up 2 carrots, and again you can see here on display my amazing cutting skills. Don't be afraid of doubling up on the vegetables. It's a really good way of meal prepping for other days during the week if you've got a bit too much. Now I'm also using 8 Brussels sprouts, and I'm just simply halving these and again placing into the baking dish. Next you're going to smash up 5 cloves of garlic with your knife. I'm peeling them, but you can also leave the paper on for roasting. Once you're done, you're going to place them into the tray amongst all of the veggies. Now I'm going to add in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and you're going to season with salt. Now please be generous with your salt, as it will unlock and enhance all those veggie flavours. Plus I'm also using Italian seasoning and some extra oregano. Once you're done with the herbs, you're going to massage the oil and the herbs into the vegetables. Give it all a really good mix, making sure that all of the veggies are completely coated. And now you are ready to head on over to the oven. Today I'm going to cook the veggies up first, and while the vegetables are cooling, I will then cook the chicken. Your oven should be preset to 185 degrees Celsius. Pop in your veggies for about 45 minutes to an hour depending on how well you like your roast vegetables done, and turn them every 15 minutes. Now if you're stuck for time, you can cook both together. If you decide to cook that way though, I would recommend putting the vegetables in first for about 30 to 40 minutes on their own, and then adding the chicken for the last 15 minutes. Now for the chicken, spread your marinated pieces onto a lined baking tray, making sure the pieces don't overlap. This will ensure even cooking of your chicken. Now place the chicken into the oven at the same temperature as the veggies and cook for around 15 minutes. And once cooking time is up, don't forget to do a quick check by slicing up a test piece to ensure they are cooked thoroughly before removing from the oven. Plate up your meal and your peri chicken and roasted veggies are ready to go. So that's it everyone, my 5 healthy recipe ideas. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe to my channel. And while you're down there, hit the little bell so you can get notified every time I post a new video. I've also created a small little download which has all the details on what you've seen in today's video, so be sure to check that down below. Alright, have a great day everyone, and I hope to see you back for my next video real soon.